Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So I'm looking at properties on LoopNet, of course. They say, well, good deals go to die. I don't believe it. There's really good properties all over LoopNet, and I'm always looking at what is that next big deal. We know that I love big deals. I love big deals, and I found my next big deal. Remember, before I told you that I was looking for properties that we could buy for 10,000 a unit, over 100 units, and that we can redevelop for between 5 to 10,000 a unit. So I found a property, and it has 116 units. They're asking $2.3 million. However, you all know my thoughts on it. I don't ever pay full price because $2.3 million I feel is overpriced. But here we go. This property is in Cleveland, though. I like Cleveland. They have a lot of value add stuff. In this particular apartment building, it looks like it was an old hotel, but they said it was an old apartment building. However, it needs complete renovations. So I'm gonna get into the numbers with you and kind of show you the property. But like I said, I really like this property because it's over 100 units, 116 units. They want about 20,000 a unit. However, I feel a good offer would be 10,000 a unit, and then we can go into the numbers. Okay, so as you're looking at the computer screen, this is the building that I'm talking about. This is Cleveland, Ohio. This is 116 units, and like I said, it looks like an old hotel. However, it is stated that it is an old apartment building. As we see from the pictures, it's going to need all new windows, all new HVAC. The HVAC went in these little slots right here. It's going to need all new HVAC. I'm assuming this place has an elevator. The elevator is going to have to be updated, if not exchanged out for a newer unit. You're looking at everything. So per unit, I'm thinking about 10,000 per unit. And that's the site. It's a 1.234 acre site. So there's enough parking. What I really like about this particular property is I'm gonna close this and I'm gonna pull up the brochure, the redevelopment brochure, and as you all see, this is the marketing brochure from NAI Pleasant Valley, and the address on this property is 9410, and that's Hall Avenue. And if I'm saying that wrong, don't hold it against me. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down, and the reason I like this particular building and this property, as we see, the property is right here where it says site, but however, it's almost less than a block from the Cleveland Clinic, the new dental school. This is the new dental school right here, and this is the Cleveland Clinic. I'm assuming this is the old dental school, but say Cleveland Clinic right there. Now this is the 21 acres of future expansion for Case Western Reserve University. That's there, and I'm assuming over here is the Case Western current campus. All right, so let's continue to scroll down. Everything, the demographics, the home ownership, the renting market, households owned, rented, everything looks good. And then they have housing. Let's go to 2017, which is right here. The owner-occupied housing is 2,000. The renter-occupied housing is 5,000, and these are units. So I love that about this particular property. And as we get a closer look, we kind of see that this property has been let go for a few years, and it is 116 units. You need HUD experience, and it's in an opportunity zone. Like I said, it has everything. It's close to the bus line, the rail line. So I mean, this is a really, really good property, and I feel the household income, age distribution, it has everything. So now let's get back into the detail. Okay, so the details on the property are 116 units. They're asking $2,300,000. But like I said, I would offer them $10,000 a unit, so I'm looking at $1,160,000. Rehab costs, let's go high. Let's say about $10,000 per unit. However, I feel that you can probably go less than 10,000 a unit, but without me being on site and walking the property, looking at each unit, checking to see if the boilers are there, checking to see if the gas lines, water lines, to look at the state of the kitchens, the baths, all of that has to be taken into consideration. However, I feel you can rehab an apartment unit for 10,000 a unit if you keep it at basic apartment appliances, and you know what I'm saying, nothing fancy. We're not going for the luxury apartment market. We're going for the average apartment market in Cleveland. With it being so close to the dental school and the Case Western expansion, I'm thinking between $750 and $950 per month in rents. Maybe right in the middle at $800. But 116 units, and I'm going to pull up a calculator. So give me a second. So let's see this. Okay, well, let me move it over here. Give me a second. So 116 units times, let's go 800 a month, equals, that's $92,800 a month. That's per month that's coming in from income. And this is all hypothetical, kind of pro forma, because the building is vacant. So the building would first have to be renovated. And then once it is, and it's probably going to take a year or so to become, I'd say, about 95 to 98% occupied. And then the 92.8, and I'm gonna get back to the numbers, times 12 equals $1,113,000. Now, and that's the gross income coming from the building. That doesn't include the laundry facilities. That doesn't include if the building has Carnegie or a Carnegie service, or if I'm thinking of like 20 different things that I could say right now. That doesn't include if the building has valet parking that we can get paid for, and so many other things that can be taken into account. But that's 1.1 million a year in income at $800 per unit for this building. If you paid the 1.16 and then you put in another 1.16, you're at 2.3. So in 2.5 years, gross wise, you have your money back. In 3 years total, you have your whole $2.3 million back. But in 3 years, you'll have that back plus extra. So that's why I think this is a good development opportunity. Now, my thing is, what if they don't accept the 1.16? Then go up to 1.5. You see what I'm saying? Because you're offering such a low price because there are what ifs. One, what if they don't accept the low price? Also, what if it's going to cost more to develop this site? Or what if the expenses go up? What if the construction workers in that area goes on a strike? So you have to take all of that into account. What if the cost for wood goes up with the tariffs and everything? What if the cost of steel goes up? You have to take all of that into account when you're making an offer and on a big building. And the plus side of this is, after 3 years of operating this building, you'll have 100% plus of your initial investment back. So let's say, like I said, this building is $1,113,000 per year that's coming in. After 3 years of full occupancy, close to full, maybe 98% on up, or 98% occupancy, you're looking at $1 million. And let's just say the expenses for the building per year are about $100,000. That includes maintenance, management fees, so forth and so on. So now you have a building that's paid for, and you're making $1 million a year that's free and clear. The reason I think this is a very good building is because if you keep this building for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, let's go 40 years, at $1 million a year, you got a $40 million worth of income coming from this building that you paid for after the third year. You see what I'm saying? So you got to look for opportunities that you can get your money back in a short amount of time, and also make money on continually. And the reason why you want to get your money back as soon as possible is because then you can put that $2.3 million in another big deal. So look at it from this perspective. It's not to say, oh, I want my $2.3 million back so I could just put it in the bank. No, after 3 years, or excuse me, after 2.something years, 2.5 years, you get your money back and then you put it in the next deal. So you can look at purchasing deals like this every 2 to 3 years, and then you will continue to increase your portfolio. Now, some people might say, oh, well, it's probably better if you go buy a 116 unit apartment complex that's already completely rehabbed, that's already running, that's already up and running. But from the cash on cash basis, that's one why I like to buy vacant or rehabbable buildings or value add complexes. But two, the second reason is appreciation. If you go spend $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million on a 100 unit complex, there's not much appreciation. Now you'll have some cash flow, but there isn't going to be that much appreciation in the price of that complex. So what I do is I'm looking for the cash flow as well as the appreciation. So from the appreciation standpoint, you have $1 million a year building bringing you $1 million free and clear. Cap rate wise, you can now sell that building if you, let's not say you want to sell it, but let's say you want to refinance it. And at $10 million, say you in the building for 2.3. At $10 million, you have a 10% cap rate. You see what I'm saying? At $15 million, what would it be? 7.5. And at 20 million, you'll be at a 5% cap rate. Dealing with the income that's coming in, and I did not do the math. I'm going off of my mind. So if the numbers are a little bit off, all of you real estate heads, if the numbers are off, let me know, because like I said, I'm just going off of what I'm thinking about, and usually I'm pretty decent with numbers in my head. So 1 million, that would be 10% of the 10 million, excuse me, 1 million of the 10% value of the building would be a 10% cap rate. Okay, so, and I'm, like I said, I'm doing this in my head. But matter of fact, I have a calculator sitting here. Oh, I don't know why I was trying to do it, and I have a calculator available. Okay, here we go. That is, so what you do is you take the 10 million valuation, and this is hypothetical, divided by the 1 million. 1 million equals, that's a 10% cap rate. Or excuse me, you take the 1 million of revenue or income and divide that by the 10 million to get that particular cap rate. Boom, that's a 10% cap rate. So let's say the building was worth $15 million. You take the $1 million and you divide that by the 15 million. That valuation that's a 6% cap rate. Okay, and let's just do for fun a 20 million cap rate. Okay, excuse me, a 20 million valuation. 20 million valuation. Hold up, that's my bad. 1 million divided by 20 million equals, that's a 0.5% of the cap rate. Okay, so I like the $15 million valuation. So at 1 million divided by the 15 million, we're looking at a 6.66 or 6.67% cap rate. That's a really good cap rate. And with you already having all your money back, your building, you can even say your building is worth $15 million. So now, let's say 2 years later, when you get your money back, you do the same thing with another building. And every 2 years, you do the same thing. After a certain amount of time, let's say you have 10 buildings. So you have 10 buildings, and now all of them are worth $15 million. So now, if you have 10 buildings, you have $150 million valuation of your properties. It could be actual. This is kind of like a projected or pro forma, what you're expecting. So you're expecting to appreciate, for appreciation as well as cash flow. And on top of that, if you have 10 buildings worth 150 million, you know, your assets are valued at 150, but you also have $15 million of income coming in a year that's free and clear. You see what I'm saying? So you got to look at big deals. And I love the small deals because, hey, you got to start where you can. If you have $5,000, go buy a crack house and flip your way to a 116 unit building. If you have 10,000, take what you can take. But I wanted to drop this on you to let you see that the big deals are how you become wealthy. The big deals are how you get most of your money. The small deals, yeah, they'll take care of you. They'll put you, you know, put money in your pocket. But the big deals is where the wealth is. And so that's why I'm always preaching and teaching, telling people, look, you should go for the big deals. And however, if you don't have the funds to do a big deal, start with the small deals. When you start with the small deals, you can grow into bigger deals. So I just wanted to drop this video to let you know that I'm still working on big deals, working on real estate, working on finding those 100-unit apartment complexes that are value add opportunities, and how you can really make money and really make appreciate the value of the property, as well as having a great cash flow. All right, so peace out. Thanks for watching. Wolf Realty Advisors. I'm in the office, so take care, and we're gonna move on. And I'm gonna keep finding you good deals and keep finding you properties to invest in. Peace out. Thank you, and have a good day.